Good day. I'd like to welcome all the attendees to our next webinar, which is Social Media and E-Commerce Protecting Your Brand. My name is Daniel Greenberg. I'm a director at Lexsynergy, and I am in charge of the brand protection departments, where most of the issues that we will discuss today arise. So today's agenda, there will be a brief introduction about Lexsynergy and our services. We will go through some fraudulent examples relating to social media, discuss social media and e-commerce takedowns, as well as securing social handles and watch services, and then any questions, if there are any, at the end of this webinar. If you do have any questions, if you view this on YouTube, feel free to reach out at the contact details at the end of the webinar or email support@lexsynergy.com. So Lexsynergy is a global domain name registrar and online brand protection specialist. So we assist large brands to protect their trademarks, copyrights across the internet on various types of platforms. Our services are also utilized by law firms who look for a cost-effective solution in taking down websites or services that infringe the intellectual property rights of their clients. Our services are 24/7, 365, supported by email and telephone. We have offices in the UK, US, Tanzania, Australia, South Africa, and Kenya. So, a brief introduction. We're all well aware of social media, but for formality, I'll go through what social media is in relation to trademark owners and how this can affect a particular brand. So it was created to communicate with customers, but it is now a new channel for infringements to take place. Unfortunately, people too often believe what they see on social media without questioning it. We all are well aware of the fake news that's out there. Facebook are taking measures now to address that. The US election, Mark Zuckerberg appeared before Congress to discuss some of the issues that his particular service were facing during the elections. So fake social media accounts, pages are easy to create. Anyone can do it. It takes a couple of seconds, but it does take a little bit longer to have these sites taken down. The same with online shopping. There are a lot of issues there, and we find that a lot of the infringements are originate from social media services, either Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and these link to other services where you can engage the infringer and potentially either purchase counterfeit goods or be defrauded of the money that you pay over. And there are a lot of issues out there. As a trademark owner, you need to make sure that you identify the issues as quickly as possible, and we'll deal with that in the watch service section of this particular webinar. But then once you found them, what do you do with what you have found? You need to action them as quickly as possible. Sometimes the standard default template email that goes out is not good enough. You need to cite the correct infringement. You need to contact the correct parties. Sometimes it goes beyond just Facebook, so you have to kind of follow the infringement. Once you've followed it, find out what are the key components of that, and then take it down in a coordinated manner so it doesn't reappear, or at least take it down so it stays down for the longest time possible. So here's a good example of a fake Facebook account. It's targeting Chevron. As you can see, it's got the logo, it's got all the information there. At first glance, it would appear to be legitimate. But if you look closely, you'll see that the email address on the account uses a Gmail account. This is obviously not an email address of Chevron, or they'll never use a Gmail account. And also the telephone number is a +233, which is not the US or a country where, or that's the dialing code of a country where Chevron would have its main point of contact. So this is something that I'd say maybe a Facebook user may not question, just because you browse through Facebook so quickly. You click on links, it's referred to by a friend, and you click on that. For some reason, we see a lot of Ray-Ban issues. You'll see Ray-Bans being sold for like $20, which is obviously not the case. I don't know why Ray-Ban always targeted, but that's one of the brands. And then people tend to share this good deal to all their friends, and this fraudulent site just makes its rounds through all the various Facebook users. So something like this should be taken down very quickly. Another one is this one, a Michael Kors Facebook page, also fake. It's got obviously pictures of the actual product, images. It's easy to upload hundreds of images over a very short period of time. So in order to scroll to see whether it's legitimate or not will take time. It is possible in some instances to see where when a particular Facebook or social media account started. This one has a telephone number 078 in the UK and a link to a website. Facebook, it's possible to block it. This is what we do. We block it. We also take it down. We follow the links, find out where it is, and take it down as quickly as possible. So this particular infringement, selling fake Michael Kors bags, had a link to mkopop.com. So if you click that particular site, you get taken to a Michael Kors site, which is also fake. We're selling potentially counterfeit goods or just defrauding you of your money. The last time we checked, the site was up. So if you do act for Michael Kors, maybe this is the time to contact them to have the particular site taken down. And what must be remembered is that when an infringing site is up for a day, 2 days, if this was translated into the bricks and mortar world, it's as if it's been around for a number of years. The number of people that can be defrauded in a short period of time is vast. And this is why action needs to be taken as quickly as possible. In this particular case, it's credit card fraud, which could then lead to other types of fraud. Here is another one on Instagram. In this particular post, a person posts something about travel bags, Coach, the particular brand they're targeting, and the domain name that they've registered is cheap Coach purses handbags 32.com. It's quite a long-winded one. I can't even read it myself. And clearly, sometimes people don't read the domain names, aren't aware of the formality of registering a domain name. They see Coach, they see cheap, and everyone wants a deal. So you click on that, you get taken to a page. You click on that, it redirects to another site, an AliExpress, which is part of the Alibaba group, where you can buy potentially counterfeit goods. So it just shows you that there were several links. So sometimes what happens is a watch service will identify the one link, you take that down, but the underlying links which continue the infringement still exist. So that's why it's important to take the entire range of sites down as quickly as possible, because they can re-register an Instagram account relatively quickly. This is another fake e-commerce listing. As you can see here, it's not even using the word Lego, but the same yellow, I would say, border surrounding the Lego bubble font written with different letters clearly indicates that it is Lego. And they're selling this on Alibaba or Taobao, which is part of the Alibaba group. There are mechanisms available for IP owners to take down such types of counterfeit goods in bulk, and this is what we recommend. It's kind of an endless game in that as you take down a number, probably the same amount reappear, but at least you're doing something to try and frustrate these infringers. Doing nothing is not a solution. Many brand owners tend to walk away, ignore this, because they know that if they have to deal with it or start dealing with it, it can open a lot more issues that they then would have to handle. So the strategy, we say, remove the infringing page and listings as soon as possible and monitor the source of the violation. So have a comprehensive social media watch service, trying to identify them as early as possible. A good avenue is also to involve your customers or your clients so that you can encourage them to inform you of fake or counterfeit sites. A common example is phishing sites where banks have a channel through which customers can report phishing emails or phishing websites, because normally they are the ones being targeted, so they receive the email first. Also, search across multiple social media platforms for similar infringements. Do some investigating to find out if there are links between the various sites. And like I said, one component that you can add when you include your clients is notify them what is a legitimate page, what is a legitimate social media page for that particular brand. What often happens is larger brands tend to have a number of social media accounts for the various regions. So say if it's Louis Vuitton, you'd have Louis Vuitton USA, Louis Vuitton Europe, or Louis Vuitton Australia. The problem there is that sometimes social media users will be confused into identifying which is the original. So that opens the door for infringers to sneak in and register something, for instance, Louis Vuitton Europe, and then the person would assume, based on the naming convention, that that is the legitimate site or social media account, which is not the case. So most social media services use handles or usernames, and these are registered with a particular service. These have gained importance as you want to have consistency across all your social media accounts. So for instance, if it's twitter.com/Google, you'd want Google, not Google search. And then if it's on Instagram, you'd want the / with your username. So what we've done is we've set up a service where we can register usernames for new brands, existing brands, reserve them, save all the accounts, and when the brand owner is ready to use them, we hand over the usernames and passwords, email accounts, so that they can manage them effectively. At least then you have secured your usernames and don't have to use variations. And if there are problems in securing them, at least it identifies potential conflicts at the beginning, rather than going very far down the road without, or when you go further down the road, you may have to change it, which can cost money, effort, and time. So it's important to secure them as early as possible, maybe before the brand is launched. Also, you research local platforms. There are various ones in different countries. We all know Facebook, but in some countries there are other social media platforms that are just as popular. So make sure you secure them in the right social media services that are relevant in a particular country or that are relevant to your particular goods and services. And then you can obviously manage them through our service and see what you have. And from a due diligence perspective, it's quite good to have them in a centralized place. Also, it often happens that social media handles are given to third-party agencies to manage, and then when the relationship sours, there's an issue in getting them back. So manage them through an independent party is sometimes advisable. So watch services. This is quite important in that you need to have an effective monitoring service to make sure that your brand is protected. A lot of companies have social media monitoring, but what you're monitoring there is more what people are saying about the brand. So if there's a dissatisfied customer, they go on and they complain, that's being monitored, that's being handled. But now it's important to make sure that you're monitoring for infringements, counterfeit goods. So you need to monitor the most popular social media services, e-commerce listings, to see which ones incorporate your trademark or copyright. Then what you need to do is analyze the results and develop an action plan depending on how serious the infringements are. And then this is executed over a period of time so that the sites can be taken down as quickly as possible. So the main ones are that a watch service should at least cover at a minimum is Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+. We don't have the logo there, but it's Instagram is another one, YouTube, Dailymotion, WordPress. So there are a number of services out there that should be monitored. And as the younger generation are logging online, they aren't aware so much or don't question infringements as much as I'd say a person that used to shop before things went online. I'm not going to give away ages or if I fall into that age category, but essentially younger people tend to believe what's online, and that belief results in a lot of issues in that they don't question, they don't look to see whether it is a legitimate site. So as a brand owner, there is some sort of responsibility to make sure that you can take these down as quickly as possible. That was a quick run through of the social media handles. If there are any questions, you can insert them into the text box and we will deal with those. If you do have any questions, you can contact us at this email address and these numbers, depending where you are based, the UK, US, and South Africa, and that's our web address. If you just need to have a chat just to discuss whether you're on the right course, feel free to call us. We don't charge for that. I just want to look if we have any questions. We don't have any questions yet, so hopefully I either covered everything, or if you want to email us, feel free to email us at that email address with your questions, and we'll answer them as soon as possible. Once again, I'd like to thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having you join us on our next webinar. Thank you. Bye.